Welcome back to TV5 News at 9. CMU Health is home to leading medical specialists, including those in the field of medical genetics. Joining us this morning to tell us more about genetic testing, we have Dr. Sha Wang. Thank you for being here.
Nice to meet you. Glad to be here.
Thanks for coming. Yeah. So tell us real quick, what does a medical geneticist do?
So we're specialists who offer consultation for the family or their individuals who have hereditary conditions or hereditary health risk. There are many conditions that have a genetic cause. For example, cancers, heart disease, some neurological conditions, or children with developmental delays, autism, and birth defects.
And what makes someone a good candidate for genetic testing?
Yeah, so that really depends on each conditions, but in general, I'll give you an example, such as cancer. If someone who has cancer diagnosed before age 50, cancers like breast cancer, colon cancer, if that happened relatively younger age, before age 50, and they're a good candidate to undergo genetic testing to see if there's a genetic cause for their early onset cancer. The other situations, for example, for children, if they have a combination of developmental delays, they are late to start to talk, late to start to walk, and autism, and some of them would have congenital birth defects, and they're also good candidate for genetic testing.
And what kind of genetic services does CMU Health offer?
Yes, so when we're providing the services, we really go in with a very comprehensive reviewing of the medical record, personal medical history, and also their family histories as well. And very often we may need to conduct a physical examination and try to see what kind of a genetic condition that might have. We discuss with the patient and the family, and very often we would order genetic testing to try to reach a diagnosis.
And can you just briefly explain how this testing is done on a patient?
Right. So the process is that after we evaluate everything and it seems like a certain which type of testing is indicated, it will be appropriate, and we would just collect samples such as blood, saliva, sometimes the mouth swab, and then sent to the lab. Usually it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for the result to come back, and then we would discuss the result with the patient and their families.
So after a patient receives their diagnosis, what do those next steps look like?
Right. So once we complete the testing, and then we have a better idea what kind of the genetic cause could be, and then we would advise proper sometimes medical treatment, and very often special surveillance or screening for them. And very importantly, we would advise the relatives, their families, because genetic condition is always some concern in the family.
Right. Well, anything else people should be aware of if they're considering genetic testing? Anything else you want our viewers to know?
Yes, so they can, it will be usually a recommendation from their primary care providers, or there are other specialists, sometimes a cancer specialist, sometimes a heart specialist, and so they would gather enough information for us to evaluate and to go from there. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, Dr. Wang, thank you again for being here this morning. Once again, you can find more information on today's topic by visiting the hot link section of WNEM.com.